Good morning. I hope you're well and hope you're already focused on Jesus. We've been walking through the words of Jesus where he gave the famous Sermon on the Mount. Really, I think the Sermon on the Mount should be called Jesus on the Mount. We've been talking about Jesus being the center and circumference of God's love. We've been talking about the fact that as Jesus works within us, he makes his life the center of God's love revealed to us. It's Christ in us, the hope of glory. We've been looking at Jesus's words in the inner working of our lives that are revealed in what are called the Beatitudes. We've seen that when poverty of spirit mixes with redeemed and transformed mourning or tears, it turns into meekness. We've seen that when we have a hunger and thirst for righteousness, and that is put together with mercy, then we become the pure of heart. We've seen that when we are peacemakers, and yet then we are persecuted without a cause, we discover tremendous joy. So we see in the 9 Beatitudes, we see there's a process that's going on internally inside of us so that the center of God's love revealed in Jesus is formed in us. And when it is formed in us, it creates a kind of inner desire and almost like a pressure to be released publicly. And when we release what's going on inside of us publicly, we become salt. We become light. Listen to these words. Jesus says, "You are the salt of the earth, but if the salt loses its flavor, how shall it be seasoned? It is then good for nothing to be thrown out and trampled underfoot by men." E. Stanley Jones, that has influenced me tremendously when it comes to understanding the Sermon on the Mount or Jesus on the Mount, says this statement about Jesus talking to this group of people. He said it's amazing, it's incredible that Jesus would look at this simple group, mostly ex-fishermen, and say to them, that they would preserve what is good in the world. They would be the salt of the earth. Salt preserves and salt heightens the experience of something good. We use salt to preserve, and we use salt to bring life out of what already is good. E. Stanley Jones was a missionary in India for 55 years, and he lived there as a minority. There was only to this day, there's only about 3% of the population that is in India that would call themselves Christians. The most are Hindus or Buddhists or Muslim. And so he would say this, the Christian in any culture should look for what is good in that culture, because every culture has good dreams, they just can't fulfill them. Every culture has good ideas, but they can't seem to bring them to fruition. And so he said that we as Christians, we should be in the culture where we're living, and we should find those dreams, the dreams of justice, the dreams of mercy, the dreams of kindness, the dreams of fairness, the dreams of beauty. And we should be in that culture encouraging those dreams, preserving those dreams like salt preserves or salt brings out the best. He said, then people in the culture will see that we're not stepping on their dreams, and Jesus is not stepping on their dreams, but Jesus wants to be the fulfillment of those dreams. Because we as Christians know without Jesus, we can do nothing, because Jesus is the center and Jesus is the circumference of God's perfect love. Wherever you live, whatever country, I live here in Brazil, maybe you're living in the United States or in Great Britain, or you're living in some other part of the world, you should be someone in the culture that gives flavor to the things in that culture that are good. You should not step on the culture or hate the culture or hate the people. You should be someone who comes and says, let me show you how your best dreams as a people can be fulfilled. They can be fulfilled because Jesus really is the key to those dreams becoming reality. If you will live among people and see their dreams and hope for the best for them and see the good things that are there, then you don't need to go trying to control them. You need to be salt, which doesn't control. It just heightens the taste and the flavor, and it preserves the things that are good. Jesus did not come to destroy, but to fulfill. And we need to be in a culture wherever we're at, and we need to try and see what's in the heart of people that is good. And then we need to come alongside them and be salt. Be salt, that we will help preserve what is good and enhance the flavor of that which is worth tasting and eating. God bless you. Live this miracle of being salt of the earth.